When he starts telling a terrible joke, I just start the podcast to cut him off. It's how we work through that situation.
Congress is the opposite of progress. Brad, perhaps you've heard that joke. And we're done. Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday, unlike I told everybody yesterday was Tuesday. And
or something. Yeah. It's easy to get confused. These days all meld into each other. A giant pile of nothingness.
Yeah. So yesterday was a big day. We had the Call of Duty map drop.
Oh, yeah. I heard there was a major texture issue, but that may not impact you.
What was the issue that you heard?
I only saw the headline, but I think it's PC related. You must.
I don't care about that.
Yeah. What's the new map called again? It's like
Caldera.
Caldera, yeah. Yeah, I heard there was an error that made it almost unplayable for a lot of people, but maybe that helped you out.
Yeah, I don't know. I played quite a bit about it last night, a couple hours. I played Halo Infinite campaign dropped as well.
What do you think? So what did you think of that?
Without going, I'm not too far into it. I've like a couple.
I don't think
hours.
you can give spoilers in the first,
Yeah, no, I think it's so far enjoying it. So I think
it struck me, and I tested this again yesterday because I didn't get to try this thing until the release version until after Windows Weekly, which is really late, and then after dinner really because I had to go get dinner, and then fortunately my wife was out she went to the gym or whatever, so I had to replay the entire single player campaign up to the point where I'd played before. So I spent some number of hours doing that. And, but again, I'm struck by how easy it is to get into it. There's the awkward look up, look down, thing they have to fit into the game to get you to make sure the controls are right. But the controls are so tight and precise and perfect. Like it's kind of amazing to me. And to kind of prove that to myself after I was done, I just hopped into a game of Black Ops 4. Mm-hmm. Because, if you move from game to game, that can be really awkward because the feels are usually so different. It was fine, And I feel like they've done something really right there. I just think it's neat.
Well, I feel like the industry is, at least on Xbox, has standardized what the input controls are finally. And so it's not all first-person shooters effectively use the same model at this point.
Although, moving from version of Call of Duty to Call of Duty, that's not the case.
Especially not so much the new ones, but the older ones for sure.
I think I told you this, but like in Black Ops 4, the left button, I have it. You can use different things there, but I use it to give myself like an IV thing, which is like you get health back because I play hardcore, and when your health goes away, it's gone for good. So it's a nice little prop up to have in the game. And if I get hit by anything, I do it reflexively. I'm just reflexively click,
Mm-hmm.
And in Vanguard, that throws a bomb. So I have hit myself in the face with a grenade or whatever it is almost every single time I play the game. Like it's just it's similar to giving yourself health, except it's the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're both health related at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's hard to muscle memory.
So the other thing I was thinking too. So I'm playing through Halo Infinite and all that. It's like how are they ever going to recover the money they invested in this through Game Pass? It's going to be rough. I'm sure. Well, I guess they are selling it for 60 bones, so some people are probably buying it that way, and some people maybe are signing up for Game Pass. So.
Yeah, some people still buy digital, and I guess, or not digital. Physical. I guess I don't know. It's hard, I don't know how. There's no direct one-to-one comparison with Game Pass because it's just an investment, And I'm sure, I don't know how they divvy up the money. It must be based on play time and so forth, and you get some percentage as a developer or something. I don't. Maybe they do the same thing for their in-house games. I don't know. They at least know what it is. They'll know. They may never talked about it, but depending on how it goes, right? But
I guess maybe I don't know if they would ever. I don't think they would ever do a write down of some of the investment they made in it.
No. Certainly not explicitly.
No, exactly. Like they would get roasted by.
I don't know. I feel like I think they will. Remember this thing? My God, a year ago, August, this game looked like a joke. It was horrible. That stupid alien with like 3 textures that made up his entire body. Like it was horrible looking,
There was a write-up in Bloomberg
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't read it, but yeah, how Halo went from whatever to whatever,
yeah, and so
joke to triumph
somewhat
or something.
surprisingly, not surprisingly, if you look at about a year ago in August, I wrote a report called the turbulent times of Halo Infinite development. They actually talk. They don't link to it, but they
Right.
like they confirm a lot of the things that I'd said. For example, they used a way too many contractors was a big problem. They just kept throwing money at contractors to get things solved. But apparently, which I did not have this, is that well, I did talk about whatever the game being split up single player multiplayer. That's not the thing, but they talked about shipping this game as early as 2019, and it had been delayed so many times. So
Well, I mean, at some point you get to the point where you're delivering another console, and then
yeah,
it becomes a new target. And that probably delayed things even further, even though
hmm
because you have to re-architect it or whatever. Although it did ship on
they also
Xbox One.
said that they originally planned for this game to be much broader, and that they cut like 2/3 of the content out. So this is
Oh, well, that would be seasonal stuff they had, right?
right. So I would expect that all to come.
Hmm.
So they've already clearly
Okay,
got
that's interesting.
planned.
I don't remember where. I don't know if this was Microsoft or someone else. Some other write-up had noted that there's a lot more content to come, and it won't necessarily just be multiplayer stuff.
Hmm.
Because there's a ring world you're on, right? And
Yeah.
in the game, I'm only at the very beginning still, but you only explore like part of it, and so there could be, I
Mhm.
guess, further. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Microsoft put out was it the beta build? I can't remember if dev or beta, whatever build yesterday that
Yep.
makes widgets more useful and sort of like what they had on Windows 10. It puts them back. I actually don't mind what they're doing here. They're putting it. Is it a widgetlet? Widget?
A widgetlet,
Piglet?
yeah,
Widget?
it's a taskbar display of the weather forecast. You're
Yes,
referring to.
in the bottom left, where traditionally your start button would have been, but now
So
it's
to me, this is good, bad. The good part is, the widgets interface in Windows 11 is a bit of a regression from that in Windows 10, which was news and information, right? Because it lacks that weather forecast. I don't know what you want to call it, preview or whatever. So for people that want that, I mean, there are people that probably just want the weather forecast, don't care about the widgets.
Yep.
I think that's fine. Putting it in the lower left, though, it's like, guys, I mean, they're relying on, speaking of muscle memory, right? Everyone knows to go there for start. It's like they're relying on misclicks to get some traffic driven to Bing and MSN or something.
Oh, they've never done that before.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure it's a mistake, but
Totally unusual.
Well, it's just a little underhanded, but whatever. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah. So
I don't
that's
care. Just do whatever you want.
which one was that? Was that beta or it's dev channel?
It's dev.
Dev. There you go. Devy dev.
Yeah. There was also some little controversy around not this bill, but the one a week ago, and they repeat the language in this post, but they, for the first time, discussed the fact that they could deliver new features for Windows 11 before next October or whenever the first feature pack appears. And we talked about this in Windows Weekly yesterday, but that was my understanding always. Like I can't find a reference anywhere to anyone from Microsoft saying that explicitly, but I thought that was the plan. So they said it explicitly finally, and I said, "Oh, great!" And I wrote a post about it last week. But actually, if you read their quote a little more carefully, say than I did, it doesn't say will, right? It says may and could.
Yeah.
So I think they're just couching that because they want to. I don't know if you remember the sets feature they never delivered, but they have a rich history of promising and not delivering. So I think what they're really trying to do is just make sure that doesn't happen. But I don't see any reason why they wouldn't deliver some of this stuff in the spring or something.
Yeah.
Windows 11 needs it pretty bad.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I got nothing of value to add other than
Well, the one thing you could add is, I mean, do you have any memory of that? I mean, like, what was your understanding?
My understanding was that, well, very clearly, which we all know, one update per year. That was it.
Oh yeah, that was your. Then you just ended right there. There was no promise or implication or anything. Okay,
I was
have
expecting.
no idea why this is in my brain.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting what they shipped in November was what we were going to deal with until next November. That was it.
See, that was never my expectation. I feel I struggle with this because I try. I mean, I don't like when other people do what I've done here, and it confuses me that I'm even capable of doing it. It's like I projected my own thing into it's become the truth, in my head, and I really don't want to be like that.
Hmm.
But I think the evidence is that Microsoft has expanded the ways in which it can improve Windows over time, beyond just things like obviously
Yep.
the store for apps, but and feature updates and cumulative updates for the system. But they can do midstream. They've been testing this for like 2 years.
Hmm.
So I think I just kind of commingled this in my head as this is happening. But I have always fully expected Microsoft to release updates to Windows 11 before next year, next October, and that those things would include things like making the right-click menus more consistent, improving Start, improving the taskbar, especially the right-click part of that. And then the app stuff, obviously, Notepad, Paint, they're
Hmm.
doing all that stuff. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I get, like I said, I can't, I can't just, and now I'm making stuff up, and it's like that's disturbing to me. That's not what I want to be like. But I made that a thing in my head. I conjured a truth out of,
Conjured a truth.
out of
That
nothing.
is,
Well, not out of nothing, but
yeah.
that's how conspiracy theories start, Brad. You see all these different things and you put them together into an idea that's not, as it turns out, is not necessarily correct.
Hmm. Well, there's one thing that is correct, Paul, is that I'm going to win Christmas. Um,
Oh,
uh,
I might disagree with you heavily, but please continue.
well, at least in my house. Let me
No,
explain.
oh,
Now,
yeah.
not that there's ever a competition between my wife and I to get her daughter some gift or whatever that she loves the most, but I think every parent has been like, all right, Dad's going to buy this gift, Mom will buy this gift, whatever your household. Anyways, so
Hmm.
here's why I'm going to win Christmas, Mom. Here's why I'm going to
Okay.
win it. So my daughter and I have been playing. I probably mentioned it. This game called Cat Quest because it's in my car. You can play it anywhere. It's just a game they
Hmm.
ported over that you can play in a Tesla. And so
Okay.
we usually play it whatever we have downtime at before school or whatever. And so we beat it, and like she's gutted because we had a lot of fun. It was great. Now,
Sure.
a game called Cat Quest 2, which is the second
Mm.
iteration of this game, exists. And guess what? You can play it on the Xbox. But this is not where I'm winning. This is not where I'm winning.
Okay.
So, 2 weeks ago, I ordered an Xbox Design Lab controller that is pink and
Oh.
purple with her name on it.
Oh.
And I
Wow.
just got the notification that it should be here, I think, next Friday. And
Okay.
that is why I'm going to win Christmas.
So here's my contention for this prize, and
Mhm.
not within your family, of course.
Yep. Paul has
Um,
yet to win my family
I
Christmas.
have also bought your daughter a present.
Yes.
No,
Is that Scotch?
just to be weird. No, we do a like what do you call it? A
Gift exchange? White elephant?
gift. Well, like within our family, like
Yeah.
we all draw names, and what's that called? Jesus, it doesn't matter. Anyway, you get the idea. So I got my sister Beth, right? So in the past year, they've gone through a series of beagles. Eventually, they pass away. The last one was
Mhm.
kind of an amazing dog and loved me for some reason, which was really weird. But they got a new one, Harley, and my sister took the most amazing picture of this dog where the dog had gone right up to the camera with its nose, and so it's like this kind of elongated look of its
Mhm.
face with the whiskers in the front and everything. So I've been trying to order this all morning, so I might be ruining Christmas. Their database is all screwed up, the site, but there's a site that prints socks, and one of the things they do is dog socks,
Oh.
and you take a dog face. Yep. So we can only spend like $25 on these presents. This thing is exactly $25, so it's perfect. And it is like it's she's gonna love it. Like she's gonna love it if I could just freaking order it. The site for no, I'm not going to tell you the site because I don't want you guys hitting the database, but there's a site up there that lets you do. You could also have people's faces. They have other things
On the
but
internet,
It's on the internet. Yeah.
just like this podcast.
There you go. Not as thoughtful as those gifts, but
Mhm.